Hi, boys and girls. It's Mr. Sunito. And today I've got another book. I think you'll remember this. It's a fun book, and it's called Clack Moo, Cows That Type. The author is Doreen Cronin, and the illustrator is Betsy Lewin. And you can tell by the cover, do you see that circle towards the top? It's the color silver. Well, it's an award. This book has won an award. It's a Caldecott honor for the illustrations. Now, speaking of illustrations, what do you notice on the cover of this book? Do you see the animals? What's that at the bottom? Well, if you remember, we call that a typewriter. It's an old machine used to create letters. Click, clack, moo, cows that type. And there's a typewriter. At the top of the typewriter, you put the paper in, and then you use the keys, the keyboard at the bottom, to make letters, words, stories, anything. Wait a minute. I see the cows. Why do the cows have a typewriter? Farmer Brown has a problem. His cows like to type. All day long, he hears click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo, click, clickety, clack, moo. Look at Farmer Brown's face. How's he feeling? Doesn't look very happy to me. At first, he couldn't believe his ears. Cows that type? Impossible. Click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. Clickety, clack, moo. Then, he couldn't believe his eyes. Look at that note. It says, "Dear Farmer Brown, the barn is very cold at night. We'd like some electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows." It was bad enough the cows had found the old typewriter in the barn. Now they wanted electric blankets? "No way," said Farmer Brown. "No electric blankets." So the cows went on strike. That means they decided they weren't going to work until they got what they wanted. They left a note on the barn door. "Sorry, we're closed. No milk today." How do you think that note made Farmer Brown feel? Well, I think you've got a clue by looking at the shadow on the barn door. Does he look happy? Oh, that Farmer Brown. "No milk today," cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard the cows busy at work. Click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. Clickety, clack, moo. Look at what they're doing. The next day, he got another note. Here's what the note said. "Dear Farmer Brown, the hens are cold too. They'd like electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows." Uh-oh. The cows were growing impatient with the farmer. They left a new note on the barn door. And the note said, "Closed. No milk. No eggs." "No eggs," cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard them. Click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. Clickety, clack, moo. Cows that type, hens on strike. Who ever heard of such a thing? How can I run a farm with no milk and no eggs? Farmer Brown was furious. And you can see Farmer Brown in the background, way in the back at the bottom, and he does not look happy. Farmer Brown got out his own typewriter. "Dear cows and hens," he wrote, "there will be no electric blankets. You are cows and hens. I demand milk and eggs. Sincerely, Farmer Brown." Duck was a neutral party. That means he wasn't going to take sides with Farmer Brown or with the cows and hens. So he brought the ultimatum to the cows. He brought Farmer Brown's note to the cows. The cows held an emergency meeting. All the animals gathered around the barn to snoop, but none of them could understand Moo. All night long, Farmer Brown waited for an answer. Duck knocked on the door early the next morning. He handed Farmer Brown a note. Here's what the note said. "Dear Farmer Brown, we will exchange," that means give you, "our typewriter for electric blankets." So they were going to trade the typewriter for the electric blankets. "Leave them outside the barn door, and we will send Duck over with the typewriter. Sincerely, the cows." Farmer Brown decided this was a good deal. He left the blankets next to the barn door and waited for Duck to come with the typewriter. Do you see their electric blankets? The next morning, he got a note. "Dear Farmer Brown, the pond is quite boring. We'd like a diving board. Sincerely, the ducks. Click, clack, quack, click, clack, quack, clickety, clack, quack." Uh-oh. Now the ducks have the typewriter? What do you think happened? Well, they got their diving board.